Welcome to Forced In-Class English Project, sponsored by Mrs. Valor. In this episode, we'll be discussing the differences and similarities of the Iliad, the Aeneid, and the movie Troy. Joining us today will be yours truly, Hamza Asif, Jacob Didier, Joey Ianozzi, and the infamous Shane Aceto.
Let's begin with the start of the Iliad. This epic starts with Achilles' rage. However, in the movie Troy, the narrator Odysseus brings up three major points of love, bravery during war, and remembrance after war.
The Iliad and the movie Troy are from the Greek perspective, while the Aeneid is from the Trojan perspective.
Also, Jacob, the Iliad is from the omniscient narration, while the movie is in Greek narration, which includes Odysseus speaking in the beginning and at the end. The Aeneid is from Aeneas' perspective. What a great guy Aeneas is. These narrations help add a new dynamic to each text, such as giving the reader an idea of the society based on the perspective of each narrator.
Let's not forget that the Iliad begins in medias res, which is in the middle of things. The Greeks and the Trojans are in their 9th year of fighting. At this point, Agamemnon, what a guy, has just captured Chryses, who is the daughter of the priest Apollo.
The Aeneid begins towards the end of the war. Aeneas begins telling the story of the Trojan horse, which has led to the end of the war when Greeks entered the city. Boo-hoo.
The movie begins also in medias res with a battle between Achilles and Priam's best fighter. Achilles quickly wins, and when offered the totem, the leaders possessed in Priam, Achilles turns it down, stating Agamemnon is not his best leader.
So the first scene and the beginning of each story is relatively similar?
Yes, for example, Hamza, the movie begins with the battle scene between King Priam's best fighter and Achilles. Also, the Iliad begins with Agamemnon taking Chryseis. Finally, the Aeneid begins with Aeneas standing in a court telling a story of the last days of Troy.
In the Iliad, Agamemnon is seen to have a short temper, but is also very strategic in war. As the leader of the Achaean army, he manipulates others in order to have his way. In the movie Troy, he is illustrated in a similar way, but in the movie he lacks some power that was present in the Iliad. Similarly to Achilles, Agamemnon takes pride in himself, which conveys a sense of arrogance. However, Agamemnon is able to remain calm and control himself, while Achilles' emotions overcome him. Achilles serves as the best Argive fighter and is respected for his skill, but he has major flaws too. When his emotions overcome him, he loses his composure and resorts to his savage nature. This rage can be seen when Agamemnon takes Briseis from Achilles to put Achilles back in his place of less power. This enrages Achilles so much that he swears he's going to leave the war.
During the movie, Achilles had just killed Priam's best fighter. As Achilles gloats around, he declares that Priam is not his king. What a tough guy. Therefore, inferring that Achilles is his own king. Priam at this point is fascinated by Achilles because he is strong and had just easily killed Priam's best fighter. Achilles approaches the Trojan warriors and asks if there were any other brave souls to challenge him. Therefore, Achilles is confident on being the greatest fighter out of the whole battle. Later, in both the movie and the Iliad, Priam is guided by the gods to approach Achilles' hut. In the movie, Priam appears nervous and appeals to Achilles by having Achilles think of all the other families he's killed. Also, Priam tells Achilles to grow up and also to take it easy on Priam because he is an old man. However, in the Iliad, Priam knows the dangers ahead, but he puts full faith in the gods to leading him to safety. Priam tells Achilles to show respect and also to respect Priam since he kissed Achilles' hand after that hand had just killed his son. Priam also appeals to Achilles' respect for elders. He also states to be sensitive because Achilles knows Priam is grieving. Priam's last appeal is to get Achilles to think about the gods because Priam knows the gods had visited him. After Achilles agrees to give the body back, he allows Priam to leave his hut. However, in the movie, Achilles shows sympathy to Priam, stating that Priam is brave and a great leader. Achilles also gives Briseis back in the movie.
Achilles is headstrong and irrational, while Hector is outgoing and rational. Achilles is very ego-driven, while Hector cares about protection and his family. These are only some differences between Hector and Achilles in the Iliad. Also, they both care strongly about who they love. Hector and Achilles are both determined and strong. Hector, being mortal, is less favored by the gods than Achilles, who is loved by the gods. Achilles does not have the utmost respect for the gods while Hector does. And Hector gives sacrifices to prove his love for them. The Trojans love Hector and the Greeks love Achilles. In the movie Troy, Achilles is described as being aggressive and confident. Hector, on the other hand, is humble and honorable. Hector has remorse for killing Achilles' cousin Patroclus. Hector is extremely religious, while Achilles is less religious, but still cares for some gods. They both have high fears of letting the gods becoming angry at them. Hector bases his life off of loving your woman, protecting your country, and honoring your gods. Hector is a family-oriented man, selfless, while Achilles turns only to his mother and cousin in the movie. The way they both act before the fight is different as well, in which Achilles roughly puts on his armor, like he just has to do what he has to do. And Hector knows he's going to die, so he slowly puts on his armor and says goodbye to each of his family members. During the fight, the gods help Achilles in both the movie and the Iliad. In the Iliad, Athena tricks Hector to stop running and fight. In the movie, a random stone appears in the sand and Hector trips over it, giving Achilles the upper hand.
Well stated, Joey. The portrayal of the Greeks in Troy is significant to the things outsiders could say about their civilization. In Troy, the movie displays the Achaeans as savage killers who murder all the innocent lives in their way. However, the idea of the Trojan horse is actually really intelligent, because the Argives took advantage of the nice personality of the Trojans to achieve victory. The Trojans thought the horse was a gift from God, but the Greeks had foreshadowed that. They knew that the Trojans would do anything for peace, which led to the Greeks' victory.
Wow, the Greeks have no mercy for others when they want to get something.
Most definitely.
Also, although the movie Troy, the Iliad, and the Aeneid show different perspectives on the Trojan and the Greek War, each representation is well developed and exciting. The movie Troy shows the war from the Greeks' point of view and illustrates Achilles as the epic hero he was in the Iliad. In the Iliad, though, there is more presence of the gods, and characters such as Agamemnon have large roles. The spectrum is completely different in the Aeneid, which is written from the Trojan point of view. All of these stories provide an excellent example of the epic hero, and we will be remembered for this reason.
That's all for this episode, folks.
Welcome to the oh my god. Welcome to the welcome to Forced in Class English Project. Joining us today will be yours truly, Jacob Didier, and the infamous Sane. Insane.
You're getting stage fright, even though no one's here.
Yeah, I know.